You're listening to the B4evaKool Podcast. My name is Rex 45.
Smitty.
It's your boy Track Stars.
TJ with 2 L's and coffee.
What's going on, everybody, man? How things?
Everything's going good. Can't complain. Good weekend of
Man,
racing.
Everything great. Just got back from Cali at the Dinesa at the Dinesa 20th anniversary.
All right. I see you got some sun.
Hell yeah.
Just keeping up with all this racing, it's back to back to back. So,
Yeah, and back again this week in Sepang, right? So
Right.
let's before we get into MotoGP and the sprint, let's show some love to Moto2. Ayagura won the championship, the first Japanese in like 15 years. The first Japanese in the Moto2 class, because I think the last rider was in the 250 class. What are your thoughts on Ayagura, what he did? I mean, I know last year he kind of pissed it all away. He had a chance to win it, but this year he stood strong and won it, with 2 rounds left on the table.
You know what? For Japan, it's good. You got to think they have these Japanese bikes. They got Yamaha, Honda in the past, Suzuki and Kawasaki. So Japan has been a heavy hitter in GPs for decades. So it's good to have one champion in some class, So good thing for Japan. So
I think I'm happy for him. He definitely deserved it. He's been showing improvement. But some riders were injured and not present in the championship.
true.
That's true, man. Listen,
My-
Joe Roberts.
my American Joe Roberts, baby. And it was a well thought out season. And excited for this coming. See him in MotoGP.
Mm-hmm.
With Trackhouse. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy next year with him in it. I don't want to talk MotoGP yet, but I'm excited for his future. See what it is, and see what happens with riders like Joe Roberts and my boy Canet. When will they come up? When will we see them?
Right.
TJ, when are these guys gonna go to MotoGP? What are your thoughts, man?
Oh, well, I want to answer the question on Ayagura.
That's all in it, man. That's all there too.
Yeah,
Skip that.
Go ahead, man. I'm listening.
No, but I think it was well deserved. I think like he's showing his maturity and all. I mean, just a few years back he was a runner up and he did get injured. So to get back to this point and I think he's ready for MotoGP. So he's definitely a rider to look out for. Going into the race, like they beat him up, going in the first couple laps, and he kept his composure and he still was able to finish, in the top. So
Finish second place.
I mean, second place, so it was definitely well deserved, and it's definitely good for the culture for the Japanese. So, but I really do think that Aaron Canet deserves a seat to be in MotoGP. I don't understand what's the hold up. I just don't get it.
I think Aaron Canet needs to win a world title in Moto2. I think that's the hold up at this point. Most of the guys that finish first and second generally go up to Moto2. And it's interesting because Ducati signed Fermin Aldeguer so soon. And do you think that was a mistake? Because at the end of this, well, we got 2 races left, but Canet's a better rider this year than Aldeguer, is fair to say. Anyone can jump in.
Yeah, there's some ties in between that.
I'm a Canet fan, so
yeah,
we don't even got to argue that. But this thing, like everywhere else, is connections, right? And the money behind you, it plays a part, man. Every time you hear other podcasts where they bring ex MotoGP riders or ex-world superbike riders, and even here in the U.S. With Moto America, a lot of these riders pay to ride these motorcycles. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if not them directly, the money affiliated with them, their sponsors, come and put a lot of money to get these riders in certain seats. And we see that even goes right into MotoGP. Mark Marquez makes a phone call to Audi and gets a seat over Martin. These are the things that we have to be aware of, and our riders, our favorite riders, have to be more efficient at making themselves marketable and making sure they're making the right contacts with sponsors to continue to help them out.
Right.
Because I think that's what a lot of these young kids is lacking. They're socially awkward and not able to put themselves in front of a camera and represent a brand, um or be versatile to
Right.
represent different brands.
Right.
And a perfect example of that is Valentino Rossi. The guy is a brand ambassador for Yamaha, racing Ducatis with an eBay sponsor. You know what I'm saying? It's so many different things on his motorcycle that don't necessarily go together,
Right.
but he's still able to do that. Josh Herron um
OnlyFans.
represents OnlyFans, and then he also has the Good Boy Vodka brand, and he has HSBK and and Ducati North
AYT.
America. So it's crazy that all these brands are able to be on one place, and OnlyFans really doesn't go with anything. But all of a sudden, Josh Herron becomes an OnlyFans ambassador, and now it's on several riders' helmets logo.
Right.
So
Is OnlyFans the new Marlboro?
Yeah.
basically, right? Basically, right? Because even Marlboro was kind of frowned upon as far as they didn't really want to promote smoking, but it was such a huge brand and was so popular within the country that they had to kind of take the money that was being offered through it
Right.
and brand the name with even Ducati,
Right.
So yeah, it's very important that we recognize how to make ourselves marketable and
Yeah.
valuable because everyone pays to play.
Right.
All
In,
right.
in the motorcycle and car racing avenue versus NBA, World Soccer, and World Football, and all that stuff. And I had a conversation with somebody about this on another podcast a while ago. I didn't expect the show to go into this direction and talk about how riders support themselves and keep their ridership going, but do you think in motorcycle racing we need to change how the approach of how riders make money and how the sport make money? Because, and I say that, why can't it be like the NBA or American football or Europe or world football as far as soccer is concerned, or tennis even, or golf, where the purse is a lot bigger and it seems like sponsorship covers a lot more, and it seems like the players are not putting up as much money because they have the sponsorships and all those things. Do you think that, Motor America, MotoGP should start just, giving people not necessarily NBA contracts, but, football contracts, and then, divvy up the media market, or divvy up something else to help cover that? Because the NBA players get almost 50% or close to 50% of the media revenue. Is it time for that to happen in the sport? Because if you don't have money or access to money,
You can't race.
you
Yeah.
can't race.
Nah, you're right. And it's time for a big change. Because back in the days, the days of like Nicky Hayden and Ben Speeds and Matt Imladin, they got paid to race. They didn't have to pay the team. So I never understood why that happened in the first place. Like, what happened? Well, I understand some sponsors left, It's like, damn, it hurts, the sport, that you got to pay to race. Like you said, if you ain't got money, you can't race. Or if you do race, you got a terrible bike, and then you may be in the back of the pack because, well, can't afford a better bike. So in a sense, it's like it's a mild form of classism. The more money you have, the higher of a class you could buy into. It sucks.
They don't even disclose the MotoGP riders like salaries. Like, do we know like how much Marks get paid a year?
No,
Like, how they
Yeah.
disclose like NBA contracts. You can look up any NBA contract or any player. We know that Jaylen Brown signed for this much for 2 years or whatever. We know
You can
that.
look it up.
We know that. But I mean, it's
hard.
more
It's hard.
clear view when we see it. It's hard to, like you said, it's hard to find.
it.
We know Martin just signed to Aprilia, but we do know he signed 2 years for how much? No, they just say he signed for 2 years,
Right.
or he just signed to Aprilia.
And I could be wrong. I think we know NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball salaries because I think they're trying to, and I could be wrong. They're trying to shame the players, saying they make too much money. And that's why they tell people how much money they make, because they never tell how much the lower tier people make. You know what I'm saying? It's always like,
we know
can you believe he's making so much money? That kind of thing. So, on that. But I'd love to hear, the rest of you guys' thoughts on, and I don't know what the answer is as far as how you make that happen, but it definitely, I think, would level the playing field if people could just get signed and they don't have to worry about like Trackstar says, you have to worry about, being a great ambassador, being a great, being able to sell the product, but not necessarily saying, yo, I got to pay to get on this NBA team.
Right.
I mean, especially if sponsors are involved. You want to know how much you.
I think for racing, it's different, right? Because there's so many layers to the racing programs, right? On both sides, on what the rider's responsible for, what the team is responsible for, and then what the sponsors are responsible for. And this is what makes, I guess, racing so difficult, right? Because even F1 is run the same way kind of MotoGP is.
Oh yeah. All racing, all car racing, motorcycle racing has the same system, similar system.
And it has to be for a reason, right? Remember, damn, I don't want to say something like that's crazy like that.
It's a reason, but you think about like Steve McQueen and these guys that wanted to ride, and you look at I forget who is it? Abraham's. He had one race. Some guy got into MotoGP and he paid to enter in the race, and Rossi and some of these guys were saying, well, he's not as fast, so it might not be safe. But it seems like yeah, as if you build a race car, you build a race bike, chances are you're dumping all your money into it, and you need to get some of this money back and stuff like that. But it seems like along the way, people who were not really good could just buy their way into the sport.
Right.
So look, like here I found something, right? It shows what every rider made in 2023. So Mark Marquez obviously made the most at $16 million. Paco Bagnaia got $5 million. Fabio Quartararo is a $5 million race. Maverick Vinales $4 million. Johan Zarco $4 million. I'm not 100% where this is. This is from Bike Sports News. So I'm not sure how real these numbers are, but that's what I would estimate. The lowest paid person in 2023 was Bezecchi at $300,000.
Wow.
So even riders like Luca Marini, 350,000. You would think these people are making millions off of the racing, but they not.
Right.
Most of their money comes from endorsements and then incentives
Right.
that they earn. So almost like even the amateur racer, right? He gets contingency money. And then on top of the contingency money from um every brand that's on his bike if he shouts them out, and is representing them. So if you're racing with Pirelli tires, you would request from Pirelli your contingency money. If you're riding a Yamaha, you will reach out to Yamaha and ask for your contingency
Right.
money, and then so on and so on. If you were wearing Dainese and you have some type of deal with Dainese where you will get contingency money for, you will reach out to them, and then at the end of the year you will total out to whatever you're getting plus what the team is paying you, or whatever team you're racing for, or you're racing for yourself. So all these things play a factor, and it'd be hard to kind of say start a league, and a motorcycle league, let's say, something competitive to Moto America, and have that type of offer for every single team. You know, you'll be broke, or you'd be so rich that then every rider's complaining, asking for more money.
Right.
True.
But you look
Cause
at the
that's that.
you look
Yeah,
at the
go ahead.
you look at the NBA, NFL, and I'm looking at American sports, but even European soccer and stuff like that. They've figured it out. You know what I mean? And they spend more on players than MotoGP spent on bikes. You know what I'm saying? So, and I get it. Motorcycle racing is a niche market, right? It's not like soccer. It's not like the NBA and stuff like that. Most people out there not raising their kids, or kids are not racing. Most kids are not growing up wanting to be motorcycle racers. Chances are it's basketball, football, soccer.
My kid did.
But most, most,
I know,
what I'm
I know,
saying?
I know.
And so I get it from a revenue standpoint, as far as the heads showing up in stadiums or at racetracks and stuff like that. But at the same time, how difficult would it be to make that transition? Because Dorna sold to Liberty Media Group, who owns Formula
Yeah.
One, and I believe they sold like 80% or something like that, and they'll take over. I think in December or towards January next season, right? So what I'm saying, and so Liberty Media Group does realize that MotoGP is a business that they want to get into and is profitable. So it's like, yeah, can't riders just. I find it hard that they can't figure out a different way to pay riders so they're compensated, because other sports have been able to figure it out.
Well, right. Well, remember also. So if let's say if we were to make MotoGP a league, right? Every team would have to own a racetrack, right? We would have to make every racetrack a team. So we would have team team Laguna Seca. You would have team Coda. You would have team instead of the actual
Track facility.
instead of the track facility, and
Makes more sense.
instead of the motorcycle brand, it would be the arena, right? Because that's what incentivize each individual team to put actual things in place to make the event successful, right?
Right.
So it would I don't know if they would make more teams or less teams, as far as how many teams we have in MotoGP.
Right.
Oh,
And it may not work like it may not necessarily have to work where the team has like the team has to own the racetrack. The
it
racetrack,
has
the,
to.
the owner of the racetrack just need to get a percentage of whatever the team is making. So you know what I'm
Is that
saying?
remember you cutting there rounds that we cut off a country. We don't go to that racetrack anymore
Right.
because of whatever the politics are. So you can't do that.
Right.
That's why racing is the way it is. It's so many things that can be here today and not tomorrow. So with the NBA, it's consistent. It's always gonna be the New York Knicks. It's always gonna be um uh the Charlie Hornets. Well, in this way, New Orleans
Right, but
Hornets.
the
You know what I'm saying?
sponsorships are now on jerseys, and the sponsorship are now on stadiums, right? So they're, you know what I'm saying? It's I'm, you
It
know,
still takes it's every sponsorship has it for a certain amount of time. You
right.
know what I'm saying? The NBA it's not just gonna let Nike out. You know, it's not gonna let Nike out of the contract. They're on the jersey for however long it
Yeah,
is, and that's what's gonna be now. You know, so
yeah.
it's just a lot more commitment.
No,
But
I
Like
Jose,
you
go
said,
ahead.
Good night,
hold on,
Doctor. I
Jose,
love you. Yeah.
Jose, but tell me this. So, like I said before, it wasn't always like this though, because before teams paid the players, I mean the riders to ride. So, what changed is my question to have it the way it is now.
Team still pays the rider. Yeah, there's still a salary for the rider. This salary exists, you know. Let's say if it's an independent team, it might work differently. You might have to
Okay.
pay for that seat, and then whatever comes off the top, whatever money you bring, then you might get a percentage of that.
Right. It's not
But
just the independent teams in the I mean, especially Motor America. Just you know, you mentioned other podcasts and what people have said. Who's it? I think it's Gus Rodeo's dad, who started his own team because of what teams were looking for the rider to bring to the table. Is to
Yeah,
say,
like
well,
200 grand.
I
Yeah.
might as well I might as well do it myself. Um,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And so I mean, it is an issue, and like the NBA, like other sports have figured it out where people can where the rider or the player at least gets to eat, not necessarily the top players get to eat. And it sounds like in Motor America, MotoGP, and stuff like that, and again, Formula One, and a lot of car racing, a lot of all around the world. That's kind of been the adopted mentality of late. That even again, hearing that if you crash a bike, you're responsible for the parts and stuff like that. So I don't know what that transition is to make that happen, but it would be nicer where riders could obviously just be compensated for what they're doing and not necessarily have to raise $200,000 just to ride. Because in the NBA, if you got talent and you're somewhat marketable, you got a spot.
Right.
If you're really talented and you ride a motorcycle or drive a car, but you ain't got the connection, you're just telling your friends how nice you are.
I just want to see.
I don't think. I don't think. I
I
don't
was gonna say,
think. Go ahead, TJ.
no, I was gonna say. I just want to see, like, when Mark signed to Grassini for 1 year. All right, he signed for 16 million.
No, he didn't. No, that was with Honda. That's Honda
Well,
money.
I'm
He
That
saying,
was
got.
a Honda. Yeah,
Yeah, that was Honda money.
2023.
Yeah. Grassini, I think Red Bull.
Grassini's
yeah, that was
probably paying him
Red
like
Bull's
2023.
paying
3
his
million.
salary. I think Red Bull's paying Mark's salary at Grassini right now. I don't think Grassini's paying him.
Well, that was just a case in point. Like, Jorge Martin going to Aprilia, he signed for whatever. Just everyone knows everyone's salary, so we gotta look it up. We can still find out.
Yeah. Well,
I
we
was just
gotta
saying,
know
at the
what.
end of the day, I know how you explain how everything works, and it makes sense, because we go to different countries and stuff like that, and it's like we don't have a home team. Everyone's just you know showing off for the world, but they do sign contracts or have a salary, so it'll be just good to know, like just to not have to look it up.
No, I feel you.
I,
Oh, yeah.
I feel you. I think it
I
would be good
think
to
that.
know, and I think it would be cool for it not to. It sounds like you're better off going and signing an NFL contract or or NHL contract than a motorcycle racing contract. As
Yeah.
far as the incentives that goes to the person that's doing the work, as far as the rider or the player. And again, if you're Josh Herron, I'm just throwing his name out there. But if you're one of these riders that have whatever reason, you got to connect and you're making the money. If you're another rider up and coming, and even if you're on a factory team, you may be still coming out your pocket, and so it makes it, it's one of those things where, like, I think, we all say motorcycle racing, like, we'll help people fix their bikes and stuff like that so we can race next to them and stuff like that. But when a guy or a woman is fast and they just can't get on the racetrack because they don't have the finance, and that's the only thing that's stopping them, it's almost kind of weird, because on one hand, as riders, we help each other out all the time to go race, but on the other hand, on the pro level, on the top level, it's kind of like, yo, bro, you got to show up with your bag. If you ain't got your bag, it ain't gonna work out.
Fair enough.
More
But
just the world
hey,
stage.
we got way off track though.
We did. We definitely did. But it's good to talk about, because the finances side of motorcycle racing is real, because there are a lot of people that are really fast, and they just can't get a seat, not because they're not fast, they just because they don't have to connect.
I think that's why it's so exclusive. Some teams is only one bike. You know what I'm saying? Like, most teams is one bike. There's one seat, one opportunity for you to shine and do what you have to do, and then have those other things in place to really get you to the front. If not, you're basically playing for a spot to be on TV and get, hopefully, your sponsorships noticed.
Right.
And that's what some people say is worth it within itself, right?
Correct.
Regardless if you're talented or not, because the point is to get my brand out on TV, 15, 20 times a year, and that's at least once every round.
Right.
And they will show every bike a little bit of love, but that's why I think it's the way it is, because not one entity owns a facility or a whole place that they can do the event and make money off of it consistently throughout the year. Because most of these arenas, they cater to other events as well. So it's like, well, it's what I'm trying to say. Like, if every racetrack were a team, then they would capitalize off of branding everything and making this place even more marketable and more incentivized to open it to more people to come into it. Dorna made the investment of buying MotoGP because it makes sense. We're going to these places already. So
Right.
they already saw maybe the test was when they had F1 the following week or the same weekend as MotoGP. And they saw how many people stayed for it.
Right.
They were like, well, they have MotoGP, you might as well stay for the F1. If the F1 people were like, might as well see what these bikes do. And they say, yo, it was great. Let's do this everywhere we go. It was, I heard it was very difficult for teams to get comfortable with the amount of people that were there and the teams swapping out gear to race, get the cars out and put the bikes in. But as far as for the fans and the experience, it was unbelievable.
Right.
So this is again creating that environment where it's larger than life, and they're taking advantage of hosting two events in one place. So kind of like the New York Knicks play tonight, and then you got the concert in the afternoon, or
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
For the Rangers, yeah.
Right. No doubt.
Yeah, or the Rangers.
All right, no doubt. Well, I mean, I think we have beat the HR and finance section of MotoGP to death.
Hire me, Moto America. I'll figure it out for you guys.
Listen, man, we're trying, because at the end of the day, we want to see the best riding possible, and the best riding possible is having the best riders on the field, and to be able to do that, the money plays a big part in that. More than we think when we see riders don't show up, and also when we see riders take more risks than they need to. Sometimes they're trying to save a seat or get a seat, and they're doing things that if they had a seat they wouldn't do, and which is unfortunate. But let's get into the sprint and MotoGP itself. I think I had some questions here to talk about. Let's start with you, Smitty. In
The
the
sprint.
in the
Okay.
sprint, Ducati finished 1 through 8.
Go ahead. Go ahead and rub it in, man. I mean, but you know what? Good race.
No, wait. Let me finish. The only other team to do that, the only other brand to do that was Honda. I forget which year, but Honda had 6 bikes on the grid, and they had 6 bikes finished in the top 6. I believe it might have been 2002. Don't hold me to it. I could be wrong. Smitty, when you saw that, did you have second thoughts on your Honda hat?
Not at all, man. Not at all. Look, Honda was my first love, man. You know, the first love never goes away. You know, you may try other bikes, but the first love sticks. So I'm brand loyal.
Okay.
Honda took my riding virginity, man. Was through Honda, man.
So do you think it's unfair that Ducati can do this? Do you think it's just I mean, next year we're gonna only have 6 bikes on the grid, so this year's an anomaly.
Is it unfair? To be honest, no. I mean, fair is you have a set of rules. You pick the engine you want to build. You build it, and they made a better bike.
Yes,
it's that simple, you know. So it's fair, you know. The rules don't go against Honda. Honda just didn't make the best bike possible, so Ducati got lucky this time. That's all. Honda had their run for a good 15 years. It's Ducati's turn, you know.
Okay. Track stars. Hey, you look like you want to say something.
Let my man TJ go. You know what I'm saying? Let me hear what TJ got to say.
All right.
I got different questions for y'all, but y'all look like y'all want to add something, so I'm gonna let you add it.
All right.
I got questions.
He want to let me go. He must feel some type of way. But yeah, so thanks to Digi, he pulled it off to make it a top 8. I figure really impressive. So I had to bring out my Ducati hats. You see, got my Ducati hats in here. Give y'all a little respect. Yeah. So
got 2 of them.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty impressive. I have nothing else to say. I mean, they all roll really well, and it's just a fight towards the end of the season. And Bastianini got one. I mean, he's showing up here and there, but it was good to see him out there again.
Right.
Yeah, top 8 Ducati is an impressive thing. And what was the stat, Rexy? It was like first time, or I don't know what you
second
said.
time. Honda did it
second
first.
time.
Honda did it first with 6 bikes.
First with Ducati.
Yeah, first with Ducati.
Well, what can I say, baby? Ducati the hottie, baby. Listen, no surprise at all. I don't know what these other manufacturers are thinking or what they doing. But we could take it at every. It could be top 8 at every single racetrack.
I'll give you the money's worth now.
No, hold on. If Pedro didn't crash, be different though. I'm just saying, man.
It's racing.
What are you talking
man,
about?
Listen, if I was
it's racing, that's what goes on.
6'5", it would be different.
That's what goes on.
Pedro Acosta has taken over for the Crashinator. My favorite. He is the new Jorge Martin. He's riding so freaking hard out there, trying to show the most and do the most, that he cannot keep that bike up,
Right.
and he looks amazing. Those laps when he's on, he is on. And it doesn't matter, like we saw this weekend, wet or dry. This guy, when he is feeling it, it's only to the point where he makes that mistake. But all the greats have gone through this. Crashing bikes. Jorge Martin went through it. Pecco. And what's my guy's name? Oh my god, I just blanked out on him.
Marquez last year.
Marquez, yeah.
Yeah.
Marquez is known for crashing bikes. But this kid is special. But unfortunately, he's on a KTM and they haven't figured it out yet. But hey, Honda looked pretty good. They just, instead of 22nd, they were 12th. So they moved up 10 places, but half the grid had to crash out. So, hey, congratulations, man, to Ducati, baby. I'm proud of you guys. Let's go. And of course,
Wait,
congratulations to Jorge Martin, baby, for getting the job done.
Okay.
Because we talking about sprint.
I got something to say. Not knowing that there's 8 Ducatis on the grid, I expected for them to be top 8 at least more than one time this year. So, I mean,
It's hard, man. It's hard.
it is hard. It's pretty impressive, but you know, I don't know. I figured they possibly could do it more than once, but they might do it next round. We'll see.
They've been top 5 probably more than
Oh
10
yeah,
times.
oh yeah. There's definitely been top 4, top 5, maybe top 6 or 7 Ducatis in a lot of races, but to have all their bikes like legit.
No, yeah, I say top 5 because it has to be more than half.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
it's
know
still
that's
good.
happened
Still good.
more than 10 times.
Oh yeah, that's definitely happened.
We'll get back to the top. Which Ducati is the top Ducati? But for you, track stars, I see you brought up Jorge Martin. So what's more impressive, the 2 second places for Jorge Martin or Pecco's 3rd and 1st place? What's more impressive?
Yes, for me or
for track stars?
Okay,
two 2 second places by far. Pecco's feeling the pressure, man. The pressure is on. And Pecco has gotten no help, yo. No help because Martin has not given the opportunity for that. When he sees that light go out, he is tucked, heading for that turn 1, and will sacrifice everything to get to the front. And that's what we're seeing. And he's executed almost every time. Almost every time. No matter where he starts at, he's going straight to the front, and he'll fight at least one bike, but he doesn't battle with 8.
Right.
Because he will never catch the front. So the 2 second places are way more impressive than Pecco's 1st and 3rd. And I love to see Pecco really struggling because people think like Pecco doesn't. Like, he doesn't struggle. He's so strong-minded, but we're seeing his vulnerability. We're seeing that his skill is penetrable. Like, he doesn't have this armor as tight as people thought. So I'm finally starting to see weakness in Pecco, where he just looks like the perfect child, and Jorge is this
bully.
Yeah, not even bully, because I feel like Martin gets bullied more so,
Really?
and not only by his teammate, but even by the media, and he just matured to a point where he doesn't care. And he's
He's
gonna
the
win
number
this
one.
championship by any means possible. But
He has no
but to
choice.
see Pecco like really worried,
Yeah.
like, that is crazy. Like, it's really like you see his wife worried and doing all this and like basically praying on the sideline, but Pecco's always like calm and
They don't. They
almost
don't
like
want.
you don't
They don't
see
want to
no
peel that number
emotion.
one plate off. They don't want to
Let
peel
me
that number
lie.
one
So
plate
right
off.
now, TJ, go ahead.
I was gonna say they don't want to peel that number one plate off yet.
Right.
So
Nah. So in my opinion, I think it's done because it's Martin's to lose. If Pecco wins every race and Martin's second, Martin still wins the championship.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's
But yo,
impressive though.
we cannot say it's we talking about Jorge Martin. As much as I love him, the
Right.
guy
He
at
can still
any
crash.
moment yo, we still talking about sprint though. Like,
Well, we're kind of doing
I,
both, man. We can
all right,
we're
so
both.
yeah, we have to talk about both because listen, the race, I was literally having a heart attack. I had to
Me
see
too.
it
Me
like
too. Me too. Me too.
I had to see it like 3 times because I swear he had track limit warning three
Yeah.
times.
Oh,
They must
that's like a LeBron
the
James
first
travel that they don't call.
yes. Yo, the first one when he went off, I guess they didn't count it because it was the takeoff. So they counted the first few turns like as many like too many bikes on the in
Okay.
together. So they didn't count
Why? Yeah.
why he went off there. So they didn't count that one. And then he goes off again and they say, oh, maybe he gets a track limit warning, and they didn't say nothing. And then when he went off the second time, then they said, no more track limit warning. They send them the code on the bike. But maybe they should have sent it on the first one. But like, again, MotoGP is taking very long to make certain calls.
Simon explained the track limit warnings. I forget how it went, but he said you need like 4 times before it's a long lap penalty. And
Right.
apparently they can stay on the blue, just can't touch the green. I think Martin he definitely was close. That one time where I think he hit it. Where I think the tire was just above somehow when he was on the rumble strip, but
The
he
middle
touched
of
the
the tire
green.
didn't cross over, but
Yeah, that was
the left side of the tire was definitely over. So he
soon
might have
they're
been
gonna bring
saved.
out the slow motion replay to get it right, like they do in
They
the
put the
NBA.
sensors. DJ,
Yeah,
no?
no,
Yeah, they have sensors. Yeah.
they have sensitive. Another went off.
Yeah, and they didn't go off. Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But thank God, right? Like at the end of
yeah,
the day,
for sure.
we don't want to lose a championship because of that a little line of this much, you
Right.
know?
Right.
And
He almost let it slip away.
well, even speaking, even
Almost.
yeah, even watching the after watching the press conference, he admitted that Marquez crash saved him.
Say, yep.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
He
saying?
slowed down and said, yeah.
Because he's like I was doing the same speed he was, so when I saw him lost it, I knew what was going to happen, and that's why he ran wide that time to keep the bike upright. But you know, if Marquez didn't crash, he would have been done. You know, to speak of how it can play out, and you talk about the mistakes that Martin, you track stars, that Martin is possible can make and has made. Here's an instance where he would have probably made the same mistake if Marquez didn't crash.
Well, you saw he had,
So,
besides the 3 times he goes off on track, he had about 3 incidents where you see the bike move.
Yeah,
Funny,
yeah, yeah.
like not as bad as Marquez's. Um,
Low side.
Marquez lost the front too a couple times also, but I'm talking about slides where the bike is almost down and he picks it back up and takes off. He couldn't save that last one, but Martin had a few of those. Even on the last, I think the second to last lap where he was starting to catch Pecco, and then he had another situation. Um, it was Joe. It was. I was just saying, please don't give this up. Like whether it's 20 points or he ended up 17 points, right?
Right.
He's 17
Yeah,
points under.
I think it's 17 now. Um,
You didn't need the extra 5, my brother. Like it's okay. Like take the 17
yeah.
and finish still in first. And now he got that situation where they say he comes in second place for the rest of, or right behind Pecco, and
Yeah.
he's good. That's a lot of pressure.
Right. Now,
thanks to Mark Marquez though.
yeah. Let me ask this.
Marquez is out of it.
Yeah, he's
Well, that gave him
after
a
the
boost
crash.
on points.
After the crash, he's out.
He's gotten 100+ points.
You track stars. You mentioned the edge of your seat, and I said I was there as well. I this past weekend is the first weekend in a long time as far as following sports for me that I was as emotionally invested as I was. It's like when Pecco finished fourth in the sprint, I was bummed out about that. I felt like, man, like, do you guys think that MotoGP is sucking fans in so much more today. Because and it feels like, I mean, I want Bagnaia to win his third for sure. I wouldn't be upset if Martin win, because he definitely deserved it. Up of the last 4 MotoGP title. Of these the folks that won, obviously Bagnaia won 2, Quartararo won 1, and Mir won 1. Martin is most deserving to win the championship, because the dude, in the last 4 years, he's gone through so much off the track stuff between contracts and not getting the factory seat and all that. Injuries and all that. Are you guys feel more invested in watching MotoGP today, or is it just me?
Nah, it's me also, and I'm pulling for Martin right now. Also, I want to see him in it. I like him,
Go ahead, TJ. I want to hear what you have to say, my brother. That Smitty's playing it safe over here on his answers.
Nah, I want Martin to win, man. I'm playing it safe. I like the kid.
Go ahead, TJ.
I want Martin to win, but I like how it's playing out. I want to go to the end of the season. I want to see, like before, Rexy was saying, was it impressive? I think it was impressive that Pecco was able to bounce back and actually win a GP, which he knows is more points than a sprint, to give him a chance. I like what MotoGP's doing. So I think I'm rooting for Martin. I think he deserves it. But I just like the fan point. I like the fight to the end.
Nah, you guys are missing the question.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead, Jose.
Yo, MotoGP has put so much drama into this season. It's a telenovela. I swear to God, they might as well name all these riders women.
This drama every year. This drama every year.
Make all the riders are women, and the bikes are the men that everyone is trying to get and marry this rich dude with all the money and the mansion, and they all fighting for him because everyone's fighting for a seat on a Ducati. We're losing the men on the Ducati to the woman in KTM. We're like, what the hell is going on?
This is how you viewing it?
And you can't keep up with it. Every time you press something on the TV, something new happened. Especially how they played out this contract with Martin, Ducati, Marquez, Ducati. Is he going to Aprilia, KTM? Who's gonna be the sponsor? Will they have a Red Bull on it? It's a lot.
Okay,
and you know what you want to do? You want to find out every round what's coming, who is next, what's not gonna happen. Even the contract for Trackhouse. We got a Moto2 star over an American star on an American team. Who's getting the seat? And we getting a Japanese rider on an American team. Why? We don't even know. But next season we're gonna find out why. Tune in. It's not drama.
It is drama. So tell you what, you're right. But the old drama, how it was years ago, I enjoy that too, because it seems like right now they're friends. All the riders are friends and they're buddy for the most part. Back in the days, you had Rossi hating Marquez hating Rossi not liking Sete Gibino and Max Biaggi. You had Pedrosa making Hayden crash and Hayden's cursing at Pedrosa. I like seeing things like that drama. I like, you know what I'm saying? Like where they just butt heads all the time and want to fight,
So
I miss that too.
So why they mad at Vinales giving Bezzecchi the finger at Australia?
I've been smacking Bezzecchi.
I like that stuff, man.
It was Bagnaia. He
smacked him on the head. Yeah.
So
what about Aleix smacking Morbidelli?
Yes, Aleix. He hot-headed, man. I love Aleix, man. The dude is mad feisty, yo.
So there's some drama
we
there.
Still got the drama. I think we still got the drama. I think I think there's definitely more drama now than it was then because the teams were the teams. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't this. We got so many changes in MotoGP as of recent. Teams leaving, coming back. Suzuki leaving, coming back. In
Right.
basically the same generation. Um, um,
It's political drama.
yeah, bringing back certain bikes. I think there's a lot more now. And remember that now we also have this. You know, we have um not necessarily YouTube, but being new. But I'm talking about now we have Instagram and we have certain things that maybe were in place then, but not as popular as it is now. So we
Right.
got to kind of see also what these each individual writer is posting or saying or giving their opinions on. I mean that went viral. I mean when not to change the subject from MotoGP, but World Superbike when Scott Redding made the comment about Bautista's weight and everybody chiming in from everyone from
Right.
Jonathan Ray to Loris Bass. So it was a whole conversation on Instagram and fans giving opinion, writers giving opinion, and that's the difference. That's what is making it so spicy right now, that it's not just that at the end of the race to hear what a few riders have to say. It's the whole grid,
Right.
including mechanics and team staff,
Right.
that's giving their 2 cents about it. I mean, look at we've been watching the race now. Since when we're watching what the mechanic has to say, or the face of who's in the pit box. Keep that camera on the race. Now we're watching everything from the fans to the people in the grid to the guy smoking the cigar on the corner. You know, like everyone counts. Everyone's opinion matters, and everyone's opinion is being televised and heard, including this show right here, us
Right.
four.
No doubt.
We do beg for news though. Sometimes like it's hard to like find something out with MotoGP. You gotta do your research and like you kind of beg for news sometimes. It's the
Oh
only
well,
thing
yeah.
I dislike.
You got to get the now. Well, my issue with that is there's a lot of nonsense news or fake news out there, so you do have to sift through a lot of clickbait stuff, which is somewhat unfortunate. But that's in every industry, every spectrum. It's all over the place nowadays. You got to double check things. Zarco and Quattararo. You got two Frenchmen trying to get the Japanese bike on the podium. Who's doing it easier? Who's going to be the first one to get there? Honda, I mean, as far as the riders, Zarco or Quattararo, who seems to do it easier? They're both making it to Q2 now. And yes, a lot of people crashed out, but now they're finishing in the top 10.
Right. I think Fabio, I think he's more of a recent world champion. So I think Fabio's doing a better job than Zarco, So
So Fabio you think Fabio get on the podium before Zarco?
yes. And he's younger, So Zarco's old. So I mean, with riders,
Zarko isn't as old as he looks. It's the it's the
Dang.
mileage he has in and the time he has in racing.
he's about
But
50.
He still win.
yeah, he looks like he's 50, but
Yeah.
He got
it's
that.
the mileage,
He got the old man
and that's
strength.
why. Yeah, if you have to tell me who you gonna go with, Zarko or
Quattararo.
Quattorano, I'm gonna say Quattorano because he's the champion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And tell you the truth, I have more hope in Yamaha keeping the bike rideable than Honda getting the bike rideable, because we know that the only person that's been able to ride the Honda has been Marquez. But we've seen multiple people win on the Yamaha, um, or make it look competitive. It just so happens that I think they've reached their capacity with that setup that Yamaha has. And it's time to start from new. But I think even starting from new, Yamaha will develop a better bike than Honda.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Fabio will probably reach before Zarco. I mean, like last year, I mean, I know Zarco's on a different bike, but I mean,
Zarco was the
I
last
felt
one to
like
be
they
on
were
the
just
podium.
equal. I felt like they were just equal. I mean, Fabio got one taken away from him. I mean, Zarco won in Phillip Island, and I'm sure he was on the podium before that. I mean, this year is a struggle for both of them, but the way things are going, if it had to be this year, I think it would be Fabio. Or if it would go to continue into next year, I'll say Fabio would be before Zarco.
Okay.
Rex, the real question, Rex, is who is gonna be that third motorcycle on the grid? And I bet you money, not because he's going there, but we've seen Aprilia on the podium this year. We haven't seen really the Honda at all, and I
Yeah,
don't think
I'm
the Yamaha has been close to that in the sense of consistently a contender for a podium.
Right.
Aprilia has been there throughout the races as a possibility.
Yep.
And I think with Martin on that bike next year, I can't wait for testing to start to really hear what the hell Aprilia is gonna give Martin
Right.
because that's gonna be a real game changer. I know he's not gonna be that guy right off the bat, but
So
year two,
let me ask you
just hope he
this.
don't get a lot of mechanicals. That's will be his downfall. I
damn
know he's
TJ, don't say that,
Let
boy.
me let me ask you
I mean, it's the
all three of you guys this, and say who it is and why. Who do you think is a better rider, Maverick Vinales or Jorge Martin?
Martin.
Why?
I mean, for one, he runs more at the front. He's more consistent. You know, his pace wise when he's not crashing. And Maverick, he's good at qualifying and and P1, P2, but race days he just disappears. You know.
Okay.
Again, I'm big on that. I'm big on that. Maverick is a champion. Um, and Maverick has ridden multiple bikes and put multiple bikes on the podium. I respect experience.
Okay.
And Maverick has that. Who's my favorite rider from the two is 100% Jorge Martin. Um, but we're gonna find out who Jorge Martin is next year on the Aprilia.
Yeah.
So as of right now, I don't care even if Martin wins the championship. Um, Next year is gonna be big because he puts another bike on a podium. Then immediately I give Jorge Martin that respect.
Okay.
yeah. I definitely got to say Maverick. I mean, like from when I started watching MotoGP. I know I say this all the time, but I'm from the phase where like I know Jorge Martin. Like people grew up watching Steph Curry, and don't and haven't seen the life of Jordan. Where he's still everyone still got that old school in them. So I mean, Maverick has been around. I mean, he's one of the few that won on different manufacturers.
Few. One of one.
Or got a podium.
He's one
Yeah,
of
What's that?
one. They won
One,
on
yeah,
three
one of one. Okay,
manufacturers.
yeah, one of one. Um, and like I said, we said before, I think on another show, who had more talent, and I chose, Pecco over Martin because Pecco has more wins and has done it. So definitely choose
Right.
Maverick over Martin. I feel like he's on his way though.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think Vinales is a better rider, and because and I say it, I probably should have added this if they were all on Ducatis, right?
if they were all on Ducati, I was gonna bring that up. Good job, Bryce. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if they're all on Ducatis, I would pick Maverick. because Maverick has been able to ride every bike and put it on the podium. I think for Martin, he has to have the perfect setup. And if he doesn't have the perfect setup, he struggles. Where we know Maverick hasn't had the perfect setup, but he's had the race pace.
Okay.
I don't think I think with Maverick, I've always said that about him too. It's not even the perfect. Maverick just has to have the perfect day. Like from when he puts on his sock, he has to pull the right pair and know that that goes on his right foot, and pull the left sock and put it on his left foot, and that the coffee has to be a certain temperature that as soon as he takes a sip, it didn't burn him. He's like, yo, we're 2 for 2. And when he gets to the pit garage, the warmers had to be, as soon as he looks at it, they had to say 197. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, 3 for 3, baby. And if they when they went to put the gas in it and they took it out, there was no
You know
spillage,
what?
he's gonna win the race. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like
He's
hey.
very
like
So,
superstitious.
so funny
yeah.
thing, you laugh. I'm kind of the same way. Like I always put on my left glove first and my right boot first. I mean, my left boot. I
I think
always do left first.
I think a lot of us is the same way.
Yeah.
I have certain things I have to do because whatever I think about when I'm on the bike racing, I have to deal with. I now deal with beforehand. So whatever
Yeah.
you know, what I mean, if my tire warm enough, oh well, you need to know that before you're on the bike. Do I have enough psi? I need to know that before I get on the bike. And now I do all
Yeah.
these things. And you, Smitty, you know, you see me walking around touching my tires, and it's like
Yeah.
I just got certain things I do now because when my mind is at ease, I can go race. So I might be like more like Vinales in that sense as well because
Yeah, I'm the same way.
you
I'm
know
very sure.
the biggest racing is between your ears, as they say.
Whatever, true. I can only get on the bike from the left side. I don't get on the bike from the right side.
Me either. Same
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
off. I get off the same way. I watch the MotoGP riders. Some jump off either side when they get off and go to the paddock. I have to get off the same way and jump on the same way every time.
Feel like a writer like Martin, he's on his social media. He's saying what's up over here, topping it up over there. He gets on the motorcycle and wins. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's not so like everything has to go a certain way, and you could
Right.
tell like that he's not that type of guy. Even Mark Marquez, he looks like very like just lax, like everywhere he's going and talking, and he's not. It's not that serious to him about how everything before the race. It's serious once the race starts. It's serious when qualifying starts. Like that's when you see this change in the rider. But with Vinales, it's always been like you don't know what you're gonna get. Like
Really, he
he
has.
could come in 12. He could qualify first and come in 12th, or come in 13th and qualify and come in first. You know, qualify 13th and come in first. We've seen him do it. So it has to be something mental, like the preparation before, like he even gets to the place. Like I swear to God, there has to be something like that. Like, he says, "No, this coffee's cold. We lost today.
Right. Well, I mean,
There's no way we're winning."
it could be sensitivity too and feel. You know what I mean? You know, he may just have a greater sensitivity to how the bike feel than some of these other than a Martine, for instance. Because and I think about this as you were talking. Thought that came to mind was like, well, how well did he do when with him and Quattararo or him and Vignal or him and Matt and Rossi with Yamaha? How well did he do with you know, Alege and those other Aprilia riders? And it seems like he struggled when he struggled on the Yamaha. It was mostly him that struggled, but when he struggled on the Aprilia, like all the riders struggled. You know what I'm saying? For the most part.
Well, with Aprilia, remember he had more. When he was with Yamaha, the bike was already developed. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It was already a winning bike. Rossi won on it. Jorge won on it. He wins on it, right? And even after he left, Quattarano wins on it. You know what I'm saying? So then once he's on a oh my God, on Aprilia,
Yeah.
He's a developer at this point. So now this what you speak of about his sensitivity to the bike and figuring out what's right or what's wrong. Obviously he has the ability to help develop a bike because he's put the bike on the podium. And his team has put the bike on the podium. Um and then this year I think only he has put the bike.
I
I
think so.
think only
Yeah, I think Aleix might have gotten maybe a sprint or something, but he's won. He won both races in Austin, for sure.
yeah. So then we know that he's a developer, but again, the thing is that the bike isn't perfect, and the day hasn't gone perfect for him because when the day does go perfect, he can win
Right.
races back to back. Doesn't matter. So his role now where he's going is gonna be insane, right? Because he goes now to he
Tech
goes to
three,
gas
Tech 3 KTM factory essentially. I think they still
basically,
gas,
right?
but yeah.
So he goes over there now, and this bike is obviously very good, right? Because this guy looks amazing on it, right? But it's just he crashes the bike. Vinales is gonna get this bike somewhere, uh, amazing.
Yeah.
And I know that next season he's gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
I, I
Um,
I completely agree
Hope
with you.
so. Hope so.
As you mentioned, Vinales going to KTM. I think Vinales and Bastianini going to KTM adds for
That's some
lack of a better
firepower.
word, the Lorenzo effect, in the sense the guys that can ride really smooth when the bike is right and stay up front.
personality. These are two riders that I think really gonna complement each other because Bastianini, even with all his success in MotoGP, because as much as he crashes, he wins.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make not one noise, not
Mm-mm.
one sound. You don't hear him complain. You don't hear him boast about himself. And Vinales is very much so the same. Except that Vinales will, when he wins, he lets everyone know I won. He'll put the Batman costume on and freaking go out there and say, "Look at me."
Right.
But for most of the year, you really don't hear him. You really don't feel him neither. You just kind of like he's out there. Same as Bastianini, like he's been winning races like crazy. And he's been winning races and competing for that second position at Ducati. But he does it quietly. And then you look at the points at the end of the year and you're like, yo, he was competing for the championship.
Right. Yeah.
You think KTM can get a constructive championship next year?
No.
I think if they could ever get
What do
one,
you mean? They got some Ducati guys going on. What do you
I think
no?
if
They need more
with a
bikes.
mix up with a mix up next year of riders moving to different teams, we talking about like almost like a full reconstruction of every team in MotoGP.
All
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like,
And
oh, yeah,
I'll say this, and you guys can jump in. And I was going to do this at a later show, but since you brought next year up, I think the rider that's going to jump out front next year is Morbidelli, because he's on the same
Jump on,
bike he's on this year.
jump on the front.
no,
What?
You
Next,
you
nah.
you, you root for him every year
no, no,
going
no,
into
no,
the
no,
season.
no. Like you saw what he did in the rain.
Over Pedro,
He crashed out in the rain.
over Pedro Acosta.
Yeah, because he's going to be on a new bike. He's going to be on a 2025 bike. So he's going to have to learn that bike. So the first 3 or 4 rounds, he's going to have to learn that bike and help try to develop that bike. And so we saw that this year, why Pedro was able to, one of the reasons why Pedro was able to run out front in the beginning, because they were still developing the 2024 bikes for all the brands. And once all those brands got a little bit better, you saw them start to jump in front of Pedro. And so Pedro, yeah, I think like he has the best chance. I'm not saying he's going to win the title, but he has the best chance to jump out front because he's going to be one of the few riders that's still on the same bike for next year.
All right, we'll see, but I don't know about that.
And he's putting the pace this year. He crashed out in the GP, but he had the pace in, and he had the pace in the sprint.
I'm gonna look for a pen because
You're gonna write it down.
I'm gonna look for a pen. I'm gonna write this down. My man said Franco Morbidelli.
Yeah, we got to screenshot that one, man.
Nah, for real. I'm pressing record on screen recording this. Because I know he might edit this out, man.
Nah. TJ will tell you, I've been on Frankie's side for the dude just got hurt. He had a Grant Hill moment. That's all.
Give him the benefit of the doubt.
Frankie's a super talent. I don't know. I think next year it's gonna be a young man's year. We're gonna have a few new riders next year.
Yeah, but it's the Ducati riders. Pecco is gonna be up front because he's on the same bike. Alex Marquez he's gonna be on a 24 bike, but still,
No, Marquez will have 2025.
Exactly. Coming from a 23. Right.
Yeah.
So
he's skipping a bike.
He's gonna struggle. He could struggle the first few rounds. He will struggle the first few rounds. Because they're gonna be sorting that bike out. Same thing like those other guys did, Pecco and Martin and these guys did in the beginning. My camera is hot, but I'm listening.
Okay.
I think I don't see Marquez struggling next year on the 20. Marquez can ride a freaking
dirt bike.
Yeah, for real.
He'll figure it out.
A 2-stroke. He gonna figure out how to win rather quickly.
Riding one wing.
But as far as someone jumping out the window, I really see Pedro Acosta being a superstar next season. It'll be so much more maturity, kind of like the same thing with Martin, from last year to this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that type of step up, and like I said, it could be the other person I would bet my money on that's gonna be to the next level is Vinales.
Okay.
Because he's gonna be on a much more competitive platform because we've seen that bike
right
in 4th place consistently. Unless Pedro makes one of his mistakes and crashes, but he's gonna be on that type of platform, and Vinales is gonna be. That's my the most improved rider next season.
Okay.
I think what makes this season make the season good is how they shift things around, like the expectation. So like everybody has something to prove pretty much because everyone wants to keep a seat. It's not everybody on the same manufacturer going into the next season, so like we got rookies coming up, a lot of different riders moving around. That even happened coming into this year. Big story was Marc Marquez going to Ducati. So like, this is what I think makes the MotoGP season good. So
okay.
Who will struggle next year?
Morbidelli, man.
Nah. I think wow.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
Nah, ain't gonna happen.
I think Mark's gonna jump out there, but who's gonna struggle?
Yes.
I mean, it's gonna have to be a rookie.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I don't think it'll be a rookie.
I mean, even you see Pedro went through his struggles. I mean, they were tough. And we still got 2 races to go, but we see his potential going to next year. He's just one of a kind at the moment.
Right.
Next year, I'll tell you guys right now who's gonna struggle the most.
Go ahead.
It'll be 2 top dogs, and that's Bastianini and Martin. That's what we're gonna see a big decline on. Because I think Luca Marini will get stronger, and so will Mir. The Honda will not stay where it's at next season. So they'll have some improvement. But I think the
think you're wrong.
strong riders that are going to these new manufacturers are gonna have that struggle. Like we're gonna see a major points difference from this year being contenders for championship to next year kind of building on points and trying to figure out how to move up through the grid to be contenders even for a constructors championship. I think that's where we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see an overall improvement through these riders. The rookies might have some of the most improvement because we know they're rookies, and we know that they're gonna have this adjustment period. But this, as we have noticed, the main thing with these youth is that they're fearless in the sense of Pedro Acosta has no respect for any champion or any rider on the MotoGP grid. And uh how you say his name? Iago
Igura.
Igor.
Igor.
it's gonna come for blood because he knows that a lot of people are saying exactly what we're saying. He didn't deserve a seat on the
Aprilia.
a seat in
In
MotoGP.
GP,
Oh
yeah.
no, no, no.
It's like
So
I agree. He needed to be in MotoGP, and he won Moto2 world title. So you got to.
yeah, I
He
still feel
just
like
won it though.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And
I
and
think
and,
he should have came a year later. He
and
still I think Joe Roberts and and
Connect.
um and Connect should have been in MotoGP, and these two guys should have waited one more season.
what about the
it's,
way Algier has been riding? You see this
Him
last race.
too.
oh no, no, I
He
think
like the way he's been riding lately.
I think
Like I feel like he's gonna struggle.
yeah, I think he's going to struggle. I think he's. I was going to say that. I think Alligator is going to struggle. And and you mentioned something about the riders who are going to struggle. Bastianini's the Moto2 championship title. All these guys that won Moto2 titles, I don't think they're not struggling in MotoGP. And Bastianini didn't struggle, and he won out the factory seat over Martin, and had that little bit more. And I bring up Moto2 because they're pretty much on the same engine, not necessarily the same frame or chassis.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think the guys that have won Moto2, I think they have the greater chances of success in MotoGP because they had the pressure of trying to win that title in Moto2. For the guys that didn't win in Moto2 and now dealing with in Moto3, and I think this is where Martin struggled, even though he won the Moto3 title, he didn't win the Moto2 title, where Pedro did win Moto2 and Moto3, and you see what he did coming into MotoGP.
Yeah.
So I think winning the title gives you a mental confidence that you really can't create. Where you look at Rins, you look at Bastianini, you look at Pecco, you look at these guys that's already won it. I mean, granted, Quartararo is one of the few exceptions because Quartararo, where Anzarco won 2 Moto2 titles, but Quartararo is the only guy that kind of outshined his Moto2 performance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's all I'm just saying. I think the guys that won the Moto2 title, I don't think Bastianini is going to struggle as much, even though he's going to be on a KTM, because I think the dude is pretty talented. I mean, they're all talented. They're in MotoGP. Everybody's talented, but you know what I mean?
Right.
I think he's a better talent. I think he's more, to me, it doesn't show on paper with Martin, but I would pick Bastianini over Martin every day.
Okay.
You'll pick Bastianini over Jorge Martin every day.
Yeah.
Not me, but I mean,
Wow.
they're
I
close
wouldn't
enough,
do
you know.
that.
He got
I
the
wouldn't.
fact-
I wouldn't do that every day.
So then you agree with Bastianini getting the seat over Martin?
Yes.
On
Yeah.
Wow.
Because he did a better
and still,
job.
and
He did a better job.
still knowing what happened last year,
Well,
you would still put Bastianini over
but keep in
Martin.
mind, Bastianini was hurt for most of last year. First time he was taken out not by his fault, but the second time and he took out himself and other people. But he was hurt for most of the year, so he didn't really get the shine he had. Like if he wasn't hurt, he would have probably had a better year last year than this year.
Health is a huge. Martin damn near died on the bike. You forget?
But he got hurt the year before and he came back
But this what
last year.
this what I,
You just keep that in
this
mind.
what
Yeah,
I'm saying,
same.
right?
But
Like
but but
we forget
Bastianini
that.
got hurt last year, and he didn't
No,
get
no, no,
healthy
no.
until the end of the year, and that's
No,
what.
listen, no. That's
But you know,
crazy.
we will see. It is entertaining, and it's only my opinion. You know.
Oh, we've seen it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, but that's because Bastianini was hurt, and he's only really getting. He didn't get to
But
say
like,
his seat time.
you listen to what you just said.
Yeah, I'm
So you
completely. I
say
always listen to what I
because
say.
Pasolini was hurt, because
So
Pasolini was hurt, he Jorge Martin did what he did. So because Jorge Martin was hurt that first season, Bastianini did what he did.
So yeah, fair enough.
I had the
But
same argument with Rexy. I
but
mean,
all the time.
I come to terms to accept it because of what Bastianini has done to Jorge this year.
Yeah.
He's
Ba- when
he's
ba-
proven he's proven in that
yeah,
he's a
when
little better
Bastianini is
than
riding
Jorge.
well, he beats
Who's
Martin
better?
all the time. He beats Martin.
Who's
Oh,
better, PJ?
if Bastianini is riding well, or grid,
Yo,
or
don't hurt me over here, son.
gets the better pole
He's like
position,
about to
get the better grid position that he was getting. Yeah, he like Bastianini is beating Martin and Marquez easily. All of them actually. You know. But Bastianini, it was qualifying down, and he's always had to try to come through the pack, and that was what's killing him. And
I don't like his absurd.
it's only been like the last 8 races that he's been qualifying fairly decent. But before that, he was always qualifying. He was always, for one reason or another, getting stuck in Q1. But
I don't like his
but he always
assertiveness.
had the pace.
He wakes up too late. I don't like that. So I mean, it's a toss up. I like Jorge Martin, but I think Bastianini is slightly a better rider. I mean, but I think Martin. I think Martin is just is. I mean, it's hard to say. Like Martin's there. I mean, just waiting for him to win this title, and then conversations
It's
will
done.
change.
Yeah. If Martin wins the title, it's done. We can't.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't have my laptop in front of me. But can we look at the numbers for the past 3 years, like including this season? Can we look at the numbers? Numbers don't matter. Finishing in the season doesn't matter.
Not numbers matter, and I'm on your side. Martinez is better than the Beast, man. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean, like,
we're split 50-50.
you know what I'm saying? If you come in third place or fourth place overall at the end of the season, and somebody comes in second, who's better? We're gonna say it's the bike. If it's the bike, Bastianini's been on the best bike.
Yeah, I know,
Right.
but this year, Jorge Martin had more seat time than Bastianini, but at the same time, Bastianini just had bad luck qualifying. But race
Wow.
pace, but no, but race
Wow.
pace. But when
And we don't go with luck.
no. But when you look at the race pace, Bastianini had a better race pace. But he just finished so far that he couldn't come up front. Where Jorge Martin from Moto3, he was the pole master, for lack of a better word. Like he could 1 lap, 2 lap, he's untouchable, no question. 1 lap, 2 lap, the dude is untouchable. But you know what I'm saying? When it came down to battles, Bastianini always had the better of Martin.
Show this year.
I mean, when they
He's
battle,
got him like
when they
3
battle,
times.
like when it, you know what I'm saying. But don't get me wrong.
Winning battles,
Obviously,
too.
numbers wise, Martin is doing what he's doing, and he's doing what he's doing. You know what I mean.
We got to understand that the racing has changed, and we've had sprints now two seasons in a row. That first season of both of them, there was no sprints, and that season was the real battle for the seat at Ducati, like to get the factory seat.
Mm-hmm.
And who was deserving of that, right? And that season, Jorge Martin was hurt, came back from being hurt, and still battled with Bastianini for the seat. And the truth of the matter is, it came down to the last freaking race, and Bastianini got the seat somehow.
Yes.
But I think, if I remember correctly, I don't have my laptop in front of me. I believe Martin had more
Points.
better points, or had won more races, like had more first places than Bastianini. Just Bastianini was probably more consistent. You know how they say that.
Yep.
Yeah. Less
But
crashes.
And
after that, there's no question that whether hurt or healthy, Jorge Martin has been the better rider overall still in this season, and he's winning both
no,
in the sprints and the races.
I will agree with you that Jorge Martin in 2024 is one of the better riders on the Ducati and should have won the Ducati factory seat.
He's the best rider on the Ducati right now.
Mm-hmm.
And on a non-factory team.
Yeah, but it's a factory bike and it's a factory contract, just not factory colors.
No. Listen to it again.
Let's go.
Because let's be real. Let's be real. We know that when you sign to Nike, it's not the same as being signed to Jordan.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But that's a little different.
They're both Nike companies.
Mm-hmm.
But you might not get all the J's.
Right.
But
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no, I mean, like the factory contracts, and again, I don't know the ins and out of a factory contract, but Jorge Martin got a factory contract and a factory bike, just not the factory colors. And I don't know if he gets the latest parts when Pecco gets it, but it sounds like he does.
This is racing, right?
So
if you get to test an exhaust 2 days before I do, that's a big difference.
Yeah, big advantage.
You know what I'm saying? If you even know that the exhaust is coming 2 days before I do, that's a huge difference.
Okay, so let me you say all that. Let me ask you this: whose data? So there's 8 bikes on the grid, all right, and we don't know for sure because none of us have that inside information. Whose data do you think they're looking over most? Pecco's data or Martin's data?
I guess Martin's data is getting reviewed the most.
You think so?
Hell yeah, because
Pecco's won more GP
Pecco said he looked
races.
at Martin's data.
Pecco's won more GPs than sprint races.
Listen, why? You're never watching necessarily the winning team. I mean, you're never necessarily watching the team that's coming up on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's watching. I'm saying it wrong again. So that everyone's looking at Pecco, but they're watching Martin.
Okay.
Right? Because Martin is the threat not only to Ducati, Martin is a threat to MotoGP. Okay. Because of a non-factory team is about to win a championship. It says Pramac on that bike.
Yeah.
Not Ducati.
Right.
You understand?
So tell me this. So when's the last time a non-factory team factory has won a championship? Has it ever happened before?
No.
Really? Oh, yeah. Interesting.
He's a threat to MotoGP, and they have to ask, how is he doing this? Because no matter how much we think that it's a quote unquote factory bike and quote unquote factory contract, he's not making the same as Pecco.
Right.
No.
I promise you that. And I promise you that. And I promise you that the support that he's getting on that bike is not the same neither. Yo, when we had, let's go back because we can't compare Pecco and Bastianini, right? Let's go back when we had Rossi. The only other time where we had 2 champions, two crazy riders together was Jorge Lorenzo and Valentino Rossi.
Okay.
Right? And even then, they would say, "Oh, Rossi, they're not giving Jorge Lorenzo what Rossi has. Did you believe that?
No.
Did you,
No,
Smitty?
because I mean,
Yeah,
they had
I
the same
did.
thing
I
because
believe it.
Yamaha screwed up
TJ?
with that deal.
I
You
believe it.
believe they had the same thing, TJ?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, I believe it.
yeah. Yamaha screwed up. They thought Rossi was not coming back to. They thought Rossi was going to go to Formula One. So when they signed
So-
Lorenzo, they screwed up, but they didn't think Rossi was going to stay in MotoGP. But they had to live with the decisions they made after that.
So boom. So knowing or feeling the way you guys are expressing you are, what do you think they doing between Pecco and Martin?
You know,
Even though they're on separate teams, you gotta look at it. Ducati has to say, yo, these been the two possibilities of champions for the last 3 years competing against each other.
right.
Right.
So are they getting the same thing? Hell freaking no. And Rossi and Jorge Lorenzo didn't get the same thing neither. They
Well, no, I
almost
said that. Yeah,
they
that
had
was
to
different.
give Rossi the advantage. Cause he's the one that is gonna get us to win. They didn't think that Jorge had that ability to get him a championship, but he
right.
proved to.
Oh
he
no, they
proved
did.
to
No.
be a championship.
They thought
Had to.
Jorge Lorenzo was going to win a championship. They went at it.
Not-
That was the beef. I mean, that was the thing because they got two number one riders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that
but
was,
they-
normally
but
you get a number 1 and 2, but they had two number 1 riders, and so they.
He got the benefit of the doubt after he won one.
Yeah. Well,
You
know,
understand? So
I
what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen now when if things play out the way they do? Yo, it's gonna be a huge mistake for Ducati.
Well, I was gonna say because it has to be at this point because there's no if Ducati had to realize this before the summer break, and if that's the case, you know what I'm saying, like the bad tire allotment would have gone to Jorge Martin and not spread across the Ducatis. You know what I'm saying? And because I agree with you, Ducati, like the factory team wants to win. Regardless if it's Honda
Hell yeah.
or anybody, the factory teams wants to win. As they get the biggest contracts, they get the biggest sponsors, they get the biggest everything. But it from what we can tell, it sounds like, I mean, at this point it's too late because there's only 2 races left, four races left with 2 sprints, two GPs. But at this point, Ducati can't do anything to change the course of history at this point.
No, they can at this point. But the equalizer to this mistake is what they prepared themselves for.
For next year,
Bring Mark Marquez. Bring Mark Marquez. That'll fix it next year because we're guaranteed the championship with Pecco and Mark Marquez and getting rid of Jorge Martin on any type of Ducati.
no doubt. Well, you know,
Funny.
next year we can't wait and see, and I you know, we can continue to talk about this until the sun come up, which it will be in a little bit. But let's close out by you know, let's talk about who you think is going to how you think the next couple of rounds or next round is going to play out. And you know, we just finished off saying Ducati wants a factory rider to win. So how do you think the next round is going to play out? Do you think Bastianini is going to be helping Pecco? Do you think the VR46 rider is going to be helping Pecco to do that? How do you think the next round is going? And we didn't even touch on this, but I gotta bring this up before we can go. What do you guys think about Andre Noni racing the last 2 rounds in MotoGP versus Bulaga, who's second in the championship in Superbike?
I don't care either way, you know. I mean, he don't deserve it.
What?
He's not the best rookie out there right now. It should be Bulaga, honestly.
What?
It should be Bulaga,
Huh?
right?
Yeah, it should be, yeah, for sure.
I agree. It should be Bulaga.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Bulaga
Why
got
not?
beef with the VR46 Academy because he's no longer with them. But he is the top Ducati rider. So how do you say hell no?
He is.
My man.
I'll take whoever's out there.
Yo, no. Let's
I'm
be real.
not biased
It's
on
not, It's not whoever's out there. What
No,
what is
that's just
MotoGP? What is MotoGP?
The best.
As the last 2 years. Not why are they the best? Because of the drama, the
I see.
storylines. The storylines. You
Okay.
cannot bring Buliga to MotoGP when you got the man who tested positive for steroids to
Whatever it was, yes,
suspended
enhancement.
suspended for like
4
indefinitely.
years. Yeah.
Indefinitely, they said, we don't know when we're gonna bring you back, and let this guy not race for 2 years, suspended from racing all over.
4 years.
Or 4 years, I
Yeah.
mean, my fault. 4 years suspended, cannot race in nowhere. And now comes back to racing, competitive. Yo, there's no way. He doesn't come to MotoGP.
Okay.
Bullock
So
is
based
young.
on. Okay. Hold on.
He got his whole entire life to come to MotoGP.
Okay. So based on the drama, I understand your point.
yeah,
But
I get that.
right now, Bulliga is a better rider. It's that simple.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know the decision, like how
Bullock,
Rexy was describing it. You know,
Bullock is on
it-
the championship bike, people. He's on the winning bike. His teammate is Bautista, who has the number one play on the bike. Listen,
So what about
we
Petrucci?
cannot.
like you said, he could have chose Bautista,
eh,
Petrucci. He could have chose, this Buliga. There's so many other riders. That's why
Yeah,
I don't mind. I know they're
Petrucci's been
all.
racing World
They,
Superbike how many seasons now?
I know they're not going to do anything when they get there, so it'll just be good to see any one of
Right.
them out there. It's not like they're going to finish
Back in the
top
pack.
5. They ain't Petrucci.
Talk
I mean,
some
they're not. What's his name? I can't forget his name. No, I was thinking. He's on the KTM. Pedrosa. Thinking
Yo,
about Pedrosa.
come on, man. I mean, he lost his opportunity. He lost his opportunity to come to MotoGP. Unfortunately, when he did the test for MotoGP, he didn't do well, so he didn't get the seat. But the truth of the matter is, Inione has not raced in 4 years competitively.
No, that's a good story. I see where you're coming with that. That's a good story.
You mentioned Petrucci. Petrucci hasn't stopped racing.
Well, no, it was more of who was like the better rider or being competitive, because like he was saying that Buliga and Petrucci rode better than Unoni this year.
But listen to what I'm saying. Inione hasn't raced in 4 years. That's like saying that's like when Michael Jordan retired, right? From
So why bring him to MotoGP? He's not ready.
No, listen. He goes to play baseball, and then he comes back and makes it to the playoffs and gets eliminated the first round. You understand? This is Inione's first year back from 4 years, and he's competitive. He was competing for a non satellite championship. He was right there with Petrucci, who hasn't stopped racing. This is his second year on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, I don't know how the decision was made. Like you said, it's probably for the drama, like you said.
Not only the drama, just that he is the better rider. He's the better rider because he's done it without 4 years of racing. He comes back and he's automatically competitive. He's been on a moto. Hold on, let me finish. He's been on a MotoGP bike. Buliga hasn't. Right. You gotta give it to Inone if you want to see competitive racing next year.
Petrucci.
Do you think any of
could have been Petrucci, but people over that.
You think any of the World Superbike guys, they feel have a sour? No, say you think they have a sour taste in their mouth for having that decision
for Inione?
Yeah,
or Petrucci.
Inoni. So, like, say if it was Petrucci or Bautista or Buliga, where they feel like they had a shot to get their chance to, to go over there.
Yeah.
In no case, like Rexy also said, it's not a wild card; it's a fill-in rider. But still,
no,
Go ahead.
Like I said, I would have thought it would have been Buliga. But you're right, track stars. He has not been in MotoGP. But then the default would have been Petrucci if you were trying to do something. But it's kind of one of those things where, you know, yeah, drama. I can see drama a little bit, but there's still a lot of better choices than Inone. And even the rumors were already saying he's trying to get back into MotoGP anyway. So I just wonder if it's just more politics behind it, or just more like, you know, again, is he putting up money to do it? Like, you know, like
No, no, no.
you know what I'm saying? Is it just straight drama? Because he's gonna struggle because he hasn't been on a MotoGP bike with the right height devices and all that stuff. So he's still gonna have to learn all that. Where Petrucci and you know, and don't get me wrong, Inone was I'm a big fan of Inone. I'm a big fan of him when he won Phillip Island. You know, I'm a big fan of his riding and stuff like that. But again, it's just the decision part of it is just kind of like, you know, okay, of all the if you wanted a competitive rider, you would go with Petrucci. He would be the most, because he did fill in I believe the year before in on Suzuki. I think that was the last time Petrucci was on a MotoGP bike, was for Suzuki when he filled in, I think, for Rins. So, you know, you would think it would be Petrucci, but it's Inone.
To me, it's too easy. I know the second that they mentioned it, of giving him an opportunity to come up, I knew it's gonna be in the owner spot, simply because of his history already on the Ducati. You know, it's too easy to bring him back. And then on top of it, just knowing the drama, his storyline, that he has a storyline with MotoGP. Bulega has time, like super time, to come up and figure something out, or how to get him to do, like he said, a wild card instead of a filling spot. And it's the last races of the season, so it doesn't even matter. It's not like, even if VR46 is in contention, they're both Dainese riders too. So VR46 is a Dainese team. So that's easy to integrate when it comes to either or. But the point was to also see what Enione can do also. Does he still have it in MotoGP? Because obviously he still has it for World Superbike. And so does Bulega. But next year, where's Enione gonna go? What's he gonna do? You know, there's no spot for him in MotoGP. It's just to see what can he still do, because what happens the following year, there'll be a lot of empty seats, because Marini's seat will be open. A lot of contracts expire in 2027.
Oh, yeah. Well, end of 2025, a lot of contracts expire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, definitely. You know, Pecco just re-up, but Marini, Zarco, I think Mir has a 1-year deal or something like that, because I think they just brought Mir back this year. So yeah,
Astro.
And not to mention the other classes. I think, you know, KTM, Brad's going to be up. Pedro's going to be up next year as well, because I don't think they did re-up Pedro for 2 years, so I think Pedro's all set. But yeah, you're right. There's going to be a lot of contracts up next year.
They're going to be a lot of contracts open, and anyone who has any type of success in racing and already has had the experience of a MotoGP bike has a shot of coming back to MotoGP, because they're going to choose that over anybody who doesn't have experience.
All right, and who wins the sprint and the GP race this coming weekend?
The sprint?
The one and only.
Don't ask him that question.
No. The sprint.
Oh no, not you. I was talking about
the race. Pecco, number 2, Martin.
And that's the sprint and the race.
No, I'm saying the sprint is going to be Martin.
Okay.
Number 2 and 3, I don't know. But for the race now that the GP, I think
Okay.
Pecco will win, but Martin's going to just follow behind Pecco. That's all.
Yeah.
And mind you, if Martin didn't mess up, remember a couple of weeks ago he pitted and Pecco didn't pit and he was like last place or something like that. If he didn't do that, he'd be champion right now, or close to it. So
Yeah,
he
Pecco didn't crash out all the times he did. He'll be champion too.
Yo, I think Martin gonna get it right and try to seal this deal. I wonder, I would like to know what happens if Martin gets first in both next round. Like how many points does he need to seal it out where he can't catch him?
Well, the sprint is worth what? 15 points of first place?
It used to be above 37, I
I
think.
thought it was 12.
I think it's 12, yeah.
I think it's 12. So
12 and
25 is
25.
GP.
Yeah, 12 and 25.
12 is
So yeah, so he's
Maybe above
he's
37.
gonna have to finish next weekend at least 38 points up to
Right.
win, to get the title. So which
So
means
lock it down, right?
yeah, Pecco would have to crash out.
As they said that.
Finish really bad.
Exactly. So I know that if Martin places second behind him, he's not gonna go for first. I know that for a fact because he's already shown that.
Yeah.
right.
That he's patient enough to settle for the points that he needs, not the points that he wants.
Right.
And that's the difference between Martin of last year and Martin of this year. So I think if I had to put money, I would say he's gonna get second in both. I won't say he's gonna get first in both because I would lose, right? If he goes behind them. But I think what he's gonna do is just be right there, nothing less than second place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both races.
And he said in the press conference, he's like, look, I don't care where I finish. I'm just going to finish behind Pecco. As long as I finish behind him, whatever place it is what it is. So that's already the mindset because Pecco is the one that has to recover. What are your thoughts, TJ?
I think Pecco will probably pull it off in the sprint. And I think Marc Marquez is hungry. I think he's going to try to go for another win. I think he's going to win the GP.
Okay. I can't even call it in all honesty. Because for me, I think that out of the two riders, Pecco and Martin, I think Martin makes more mistakes. And even though he says he's going to follow behind Pecco and stuff like that, I think Martin's going to win it. It's for him to lose. So at this point, he's going to crash out, or somebody else is going to take him out, or something like that. It's for him to lose. But I think if Pecco doesn't win a third title, no one's going to be upset. Like
right.
Oh, you didn't win 3 in a row. Boo, right? No one's gonna be upset if he doesn't. So there's no pressure. He won 2 in a row. No one is. I mean, not to say no one. Rossi and Marquez has won 3 in a row because I think they both won 5 in a row, whatever the case may be. So, but there's no one's gonna be like, yo, bro, you didn't win a third title. But this will be Martin's second year runner up if he doesn't win. Right. And so for him, and he's leaving going to Aprilia. So I don't think Aprilia is going to win a title maybe in 2027, but I don't think Aprilia is going to win a title in 2025 or 26. So I think the pressure, even though he wants to say there's no pressure, I think the pressure is more on Martin. But I do agree Pecco has to win all the races, both rounds. He has to win all the races, both rounds.
Okay.
Or not finish second.
Right.
That's major.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that has to happen either way. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna need the help of his VR46 Academy riders and his factory Bastianini's factory rider.
Yep.
Marini can't do much on the Honda outside of taking Martin out at the start. You know what I'm saying? But at least Bezecchi and Bastianini could do something. There's no the Gin Antonio, so the Gin Antonio. I don't think Anoni's gonna be in a place to help, unless again they want to be the cannonball or the bowling pin or the bowling ball.
Okay,
Even his teammate is VR46.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
I'm excited for next race. Is gonna tell us a lot.
yeah, I think so
A
too.
couple days.
So at least it's every weekend now. So
Yeah,
Right.
and that's the best part of it. All right, man. Let's shout out the sponsors and let's call it.
Smitty, Smith Shot Racing. That's all I got for you today.
it's your boy Track Stars. I want to thank Dineze. Happy 20th also to Dineze. I want to shout out Warhorse NYC. Use Trackstars 23 at your checkout for your discount. I want to shout out AEM, AEM Factory. They sell the bike parts for MV Agusta, Ducati, and KTM. So use Trackstars for your discounts on that. Shout out to HSBK and Ducati New York. And all the other sponsors, if I missed you out, don't worry. We will do more shows. I will get you guys in there.
No doubt. Send a check.
So, shout out to Woodcraft Technologies, J&G Performance, Hideaway RV Rentals, and Official Vortex. And last but not least, not a sponsor, but I want to shout out Honda. Actually, want to give them a round of applause. That the GP race, they all finished and all got points.
Oh wow,
I don't know if y'all knew that.
that's a big shout out.
It's a big shout out. Even Jawan Mir got a point. Jawan Mir got a point. You know, so
You might as well shout out the rain also. Shout out to the rain.
Hey,
Shout out to the rain.
rain drives. It's still a race.
they still finished. You know, so they still
Get
finished.
the rain next team out there.
No doubt. No
I
doubt.
mean, they all got points. You know, it's the first time this year. I think all the Honda riders got a point
That's
in the same race.
You got to take it where you can get it, I guess. Is all I can say. But I suspect the top branches, the top guys at Honda is sitting here saying that's not a win if it's not a championship. But you got to start somewhere. Shout out to Workbench Technology. Go to Workbench Tech to get all your IT problems solved. Solution with a smile. Go to B4evaKool.com and buy some merch and support the channel. My name is Rex45.
Smitty.
Track Stars.
TJ, 2 O's and cough.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.